Stone Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now I keep saying it's the last time I'm gonna do this, right? But it ain't. Give y'all a little bit of bass line. That's circus music. So we up at the heavyweights and our circus. You know what I mean? We like to talk about it every second day. It is what it is, right? It's Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, two undefeated dudes. We can't seem to get the fight, right? We know why. We do know why, right? So normally when we come in here, we got somebody saying something, or most of the time it's Eddie Hearn news. You know, whatever he's saying in the public because he's out there a lot, right? So he's a promoter of Anthony Joshua. So if we're gonna give Eddie Hearn this much attention, where's Shelly Finkel, one of the managers or promoters of Deontay Wilder? Let's see what Shelly Finkel had to say. He said that after they got the contract from Eddie Hearn, right, they had a couple of concerns and they already wrote him an email, right? So while Eddie Hearn has this email already, he's out in the public saying the fight has to hurry up. You know, just like with the Kubrat Pulev situation. The fight was signed for August, I think 25th, with Dillian White. Kubrat Pulev said, but Eddie Hearn, knowing that the fight's already signed, got the contracts, everything, is out saying that we're getting closer. Now, you know, what was that slide when you lean back? You know, remember that, right? Listen, Eddie Hearn gonna have to be careful because you know, on your way up is all cool, right? But you step on too many toes on the way down, people gonna be dancing, just letting you go by. Man, what you doing, man? I'm just letting Eddie Hearn go by. You will fall. You have to stop this behavior in public with these people. You're stepping on too many toes, right? Telling people their 50 million is not good. People have been in the business way longer than you. You're gonna have to be careful here. Now, that just brings us to the point of, with the fight with Povetkin, it's basically going to get done. This is nothing new. Anybody that's been here to hear me knows that I already know that Povetkin is going to be the fight. I don't see anything else happening, right? I would be an idiot to think that right now, to be honest with you. I mean, really, what else proof you have? When the emails get sent, the contract got sent, and here's another thing too. When it was contract, Eddie Hearn said he wanted to send it by Friday. He didn't do that. It was late 3 days, right? So while it's being late, he sent it late. He's out saying how quick it has to be done. So they get it. Deontay Wilder's team sends it back with a couple of concerns, and he never answered back to the emails until now. Until he comes out tomorrow talking about we got to sign the Povetkin fight or something like that. But he already has an answer from them. They have concerns. Wouldn't you? You're going to have concerns. Well, if not, remember when the 50 million came and Joshua teams had concerns? So if people are going to have concerns about 50 million, whatever they offered Deontay Wilder, basically to irk him, right? He's going to have some concerns about it. But write your email, and I'm pretty sure immediately. But it's not being done. So, at this point, who cares about it? I'm going to just say this. With time, right? Everything takes time. For example, justice. You ever see justice happen right away? It takes time, right? Truth. It takes time to come out. It's just, you got to be a little bit patient with things like that, right? But I'm going to say there's going to be fans of Anthony Joshua because I've seen it. I'm going to give you an example of where they're going to see it's just too much is too much. If you're just basically a fan of boxing and you like this guy too, and it's like, oh, okay, I like him. He's good. I like the way he fights. He knocks people out. He looks cool. He got a good bod. He works hard. He's diligent. He's cordial. I like this guy, right? That happens. Now, one of my partners, a Nigerian brother, fights himself, right? Joshua fan, through and through. The whole thing. Don't really even like Deontay Wilder. They say he talk too much. right? Wants Joshua to get him. Truly believe Joshua is going to beat him. And we talk from time to time because I like both of them, but I like Wilder more for a lot of reasons. But we all know that. But at the end of the day, we talk all the time. Now, the 12.5 million came up for Deontay Wilder and all these negotiations going through. Didn't really say much about it. Got a little quiet. But the other day, a brother told me, he said, listen, you know, if he don't sign for this 50 million, I'm done with him. Okay? Right? That means it's a brother who really is a Joshua fan, Nigerian. Right? Love him, man, Joshua. But at the end of the day, he's a fan of boxing first. And 50 million speaks, volumes. You go get that wherever it is. That's what anybody who's just not going to be overly into someone. You just like look any boxer. Wait, why wouldn't you do that? You'd go handle that, and then whatever you want to do after that is cool. But you go get that, and forget the money for a second. You have an opportunity to be undisputed, right? And so when you ask yourself, are you a fan that believes your guy can win? If it's Joshua, if it's Golovkin versus Jacobs or something like that, you believe that he could win, then you should be behind him going to do that with the quickness. Shouldn't be any reservations. Man, Joshua about to beat the mess out of Deontay Wilder. Man, how much? Whatever. 50, 20. Give me 12. I'm going to take care of him. Get out of here. Twice. You know what I mean? That's I don't understand why it's not. So the only reason is because you don't believe that he wins. There's no reason for you to be coming in those comment sections talking. If you believe he wins, you would have him at the fight. You would take him there. Matter of fact, you'll be on your way to his crib to pick him up to take him to that fight. You go beat this guy up for less than 50 million. But 50 million, I mean, we ain't there. What? The sentence they had to finish that sentence? So those are things like that where fans, I'm telling you, don't go too far. At some point, even fans are going to wake up. I'm going to tell you. Now, people know, I'm looking at the fight, I'm thinking, well, just because, I would like to see this unification fight between two heavyweights doesn't mean I think Deontay Wilder wins, definitely. This is Anthony Joshua we're talking about, which is 6'6", 250-pound man that's diligent and more technically sound, right? So ain't lost, knocks out everybody too. So why would you think that Deontay's going to win for sure? Now, my common sense for what I see in Deontay Wilder, because I don't dislike him. So, when I see everything that I'm seeing, I would say Deontay Wilder wins 2 out of 3, right? And I say that about Lennox Lewis against anybody in the history of a heavyweight division. Lennox Lewis, I got him 2 out of 3 against anybody. Period. And then after that, George Foreman, 2 out of 3 against anybody. Anybody. There's enough size is there for those smaller guys, enough size is there for them bigger guys, and enough sense and capability and athleticism is there. I got Lennox Lewis 2 out of 3. I got Deontay Wilder at least 2 out of 3 against Anthony Joshua. And athleticism plays a part in my thought pattern. Right? It's not a guy who can just box. I think this guy can do other things. Right? And his feet are all over the place, but he's able to move. He doesn't get tired. He's quick as hell, right? And we ain't gonna talk about his punching power. I'm just talking about his athleticism. We ain't seen him exhausted after 4 rounds of fighting. You seen him punching a whole lot of times on people whose heads are hard, like Duhapis, right? But he's not getting ridiculously tired. Those things, those little intangibles. And then for people, oh, he's got the right hand. Deontay Wilder's right hand. Well, he's broke it twice. And why it was broke, he was working on the left, right? And if people keep forgetting that, I like to see somebody else uh, beat Chris Arreola into submission with one hand. Jabbed Chris Arreola into submission. And for those who want to call Chris Arreola bum and all that old stuff, ask Seth Mitchell, who was hyping up. Chris Arreola showed him the difference between boxing and football. Quickly. I ain't seen nothing from Seth Mitchell since. Right? Chris Arreola gave Stavern all he could handle. Let me tell you something. You don't jab this tough guy, Chris Arreola, into submission with one hand. That's what Deontay Wilder did. And he also was able to use it against Stavern and won, but he's practiced it after that. So that jab is something to behold all of a sudden. I can see Deontay Wilder basically stand on the outside against Anthony Joshua and outpointing the guy. I just think his killer instinct would get in the way of that. Well, I was him, I probably just outpoint him the first fight, then go to then bring him home, right, and then knock him out. But just outpoint him in front of his people. But anyhow, Deontay Wilder ticks. He's trying to knock people out. That's what's gonna make this fight a good fight. But at the end of the day, I'm saying Shelly Finkel has a point here, right? If you sent the contract 3 days late, you got an answer, and you're gonna go into some kind of media, right? On these websites and stuff like that that he probably owns anyway, and put a narrative out there that has nothing to do with the email. That's what he needs to answer them. It's not gonna happen, you guys. Let's hope I'm wrong. I'm saying Joshua Povetkin in September sometime, and probably September, the month they didn't want to fight in because Canelo and Golovkin. Still, Povetkin and Joshua in September, somewhere probably in England. Let's see what happens, see if I'm wrong. Dome Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.